Bevan, we'll say a very good afternoon to you. Must say you're looking very dapper today.
Yeah, well, I had a few requests for another hat. I couldn't find a new one, so we've just gone with the cheese cutter again. Emily, a very good morning to you. Welcome to Trentham Gardens, where we are under beautiful skies. It's very warm here. At this time, it's just after the midday point, so whether we get enough hot weather to improve this track further is the question mark. There is a big cover of grass on this particular track and a big dew this morning, so it is going to run around about that slow 8 early on in the program. I just spoke to Jonathan Parks. He's been out and walked it, and he felt it was at that sort of level. I think it's warm enough that we could possibly have an upgrade, but I think all in all, Emily, with the weather we've had over the last 4 or 5 days here down in the lower North Island, we've come up with a track that's about as good as it could be.
Absolutely, it certainly is going to make for a much more straightforward day of racing than perhaps we were going to face. First race on the card is the Lone Star Petone Premier. Lincoln Falls is heavily supported in this market, $1.30, 105, 160, 90 cents. Stephen, has there been any interest in anything else, or is Lincoln Falls just taking all of the money?
Yeah, it's just all round number one, Lincoln Falls, Emily, $1.30. Got as short as $1.25. I can declare I don't think it will start any higher than $1.30 and trade at any time throughout this afternoon above $1.30 its current price. See $1.60 on the totalizer there, just a tick over 6,000. Just crunching a few numbers around Lincoln Falls. We've accepted a $10,000 bet around about an hour ago around Lincoln Falls at $1.30. A number of four-figure bets. There's around about 900 multis in progress. That will go well over 2,000 plus. Come around about 30 odd minutes away this particular race, the first to kick off the 9-race program. Outside that, the stablemate Platinum Mamsell at $5, off a short of $4.50, and the rest we just cannot write a ticket. So it's all about Lincoln Falls. It's got real upside, and he'll be having to win this if they think he's a serious contender for the Levin Classic in a few weeks' time.
Bevan, we'll get along to you with the speed map. I'm thinking with my heart, he's by Dundeel. He's so impressive in that maiden win, I remember, and so he goes on top for me.
Well, he should be, Emily, because he'll be winning. Where they pause him up in the run will be interesting, because post this race he does go to Ellerslie on Boxing Day for a look round there for thoughts towards the Derby, and then he'll come back for the Levin Classic here at Trentham through the Carnival, I believe. I don't think they'll be leading on him. I think they'll give him a chance to sit back and chase something. He's got all the ability. He's pretty green, as you'll see here in this video. He comes around the corner. Maybe Jonathan left him in front just that little bit soon with Langkawi coming off his back. And look, he's gawking at things in the stand. You see his ears prick up. He's not really sure what to do. I think he was a little bit shinny this day as well. He's had a trial in behind the Very Smart Start, wondering where he boomed home at Awapuni, but he knows little. He'll improve out of that first preparation, and I think he should be winning today. In fact, he will be winning. I think he's probably 8-9 lengths better than the remainder of this field. And if he's going to be a serious contender further on in the 3-year-old season, he'll be winning here today. He did have a bit of a blow post his trial, so there's going to be further improvement in him, but he is a very smart horse. He's on top over Platinum Mamsell, who I thought was pretty good behind Avantage through the Hawke's Bay Carnival. Billy Pin takes 3 kilos off there. Kahu Rock's not the worst of horses, so I expected him to win a race by now in this preparation. He just seems to be on that quiet improving path. Then I put in the 3, Somewhere Man for Lisa Allpress and Josh Shaw. Not a bad run, fresh up for Josh this preparation, and maybe an improver into the race, but the one at the top of the book, Lincoln Falls, looks like the one that'll be anchored through all sorts of multiples throughout the day.
Hopefully it gets people off to a winning start in their day. Up next is the Rating 82, the Genie and Holmes Premier, and it is the second on the card from Trentham, Contessa Vanessa, 270, 110, 250 and 210. Stephen, a horse that we've seen, we know how good she is, but just hasn't quite shown at this prep a massive drop in grade. What's the market telling us with regards to punters' thoughts?
I think that's the key, Emily. The drop back in grade. She's been contesting group levels, elite levels over the Hawke's Bay Carnival. Her only decent performance this time is when she dropped back in grade and ran second at Ruakaka. She does a similar thing here. $2.70 trading currently on option 402 off a peak of $2.90 this morning. We've accepted a $2,000 bet at the $2.90 line. That's why she's come in just fractionally to $2.70. A little bit of specking round number 4, Bring to the Block, who does have course form at Trentham on an off track. $5 off a peak of $7 yesterday afternoon. Outside that, it's a little bit friendless. So at this stage, Contessa Vanessa looks set to start favourite in what is a competitive field, even though only 5 go around.
It sure is. Number 2, Contessa Vanessa as the favourite. But Bevan, we heard earlier Matt Cameron talking about Lady Nadal. She's a horse in form, and Contessa Vanessa is out of form. Does that count for something?
I'm not so sure it does, Emily. I was actually a little bit surprised with this market when the bookmakers put it out with Lady Nadal, $3.50, dual favourite. Like the race at Waverley only had the 4 contestants, so I thought this was a major step up. Let's first and foremost look at Awatani. Now, this horse was good enough to beat Gifted Power fresh up at Hastings, and in this particular race, he got back behind Rock My Soul, who's a pretty smart sort of horse, and he markedly ran the quickest last 600 in this particular race. I know it's only a small field, but I did see reasonable sort of tempo in this race. I know he carries the 59, but he's got the ability, Awatani, so I was surprised he wasn't much closer to Lady Nadal. And we'll show you this performance of Lady Nadal now. You can make your own minds up. This is a small field. Petit Anjou is a nice animal, and the form prior to this behind Bevan Street is strong enough. So there is good, strong ability there, and this horse quickens up nicely on this occasion. Was posied up nicely by Matt Cameron and was really strong to the line. That's an 82 race, I know, but not an overly strong one in a very limited sort of field with only the 4 runners. This is certainly a step up in grade from that particular race. So I was just that slight bit surprised that it came up 350. I thought it deserved a bit longer, but the bookmakers and Stephen and his team are really wrong. I went with Contessa Vanessa on top. I thought her trial was very, very good in behind Melody Bell. She really wanted to be there and find the line. She had a couple of runs in the best of company through the carnival at Hastings. I know the record isn't quite there at the trip over the 1,300 metres, but it's a unique sort of distance, isn't it? I think she'll be right in the mix, the 2. Lucy and Rio, I put Lucy and Rio, and I thought these track conditions were going to be that little bit wetter. She does have very good form lines, Indecision, Rock and Affair, 2 nice horses, and she's been close up and behind them, and I thought she was there for a long way behind Bazoo Bazoo. Awatani in for 3rd, Bring to the Block in for 4th, and I've left the favourite out in my selections in race number 2.
Thanks, Bevan. Let's get you along to the 3rd on the programme over the 2,500 metres, the Fast Track Insurance Chalmers Handicap. And it does feature another small field, but competitive. Red Cloud, 3s at $2.90. Red Cloud is a last start winner, Stephen, so is High Quality. But there's a very strong middle market here with the small field.
You wouldn't be wanting to rule out any runner here. The fact that they can all handle a bit of given the track, Emily, from your hot favourite and Red Cloud all the way down to Finn, they can all handle or have some form lines previously on their runs on slow and / heavy track conditions. So look, Red Cloud went up favourite during the week at a $2.80 line, just eased ever so slightly to $3, is the best bet runner, just in front of Obrigado at $3.60, High Quality $4.40, off a shortener of $4.20. A little bit of specking for Sylvester, even with a top weight at 6.5. Animator, $8.50, just in a turn to $8, so not friendless. And never is Finn, the outsider, at 12. So hard to give a decent lead thus far. The fact that there's just a lack of turnover in this particular race. So it might be one just to watch as we progress towards the early part of the afternoon. But at this stage, Red Cloud looks set to start favourite in an even contest.
Thanks, Stephen. Bevan, Punters obviously being a little bit cautious with this 3rd on the card. Are you being cautious yourself, or did you perhaps have a lead into something in this next one?
Well, I think this is a race to be cautious in, and it's dictated to by that lack of tempo. I know it is over the 2,500 metres, but really do see them walking in this particular race. Good form field though. Sylvester in behind High Quality last time, unlucky, as was Obrigado. And the Red Cloud performance at Awapuni is actually a race that's got a fair bit of form in it, with Shed Secrets coming out of that particular race and High Quality out of it. So he's a nice developing star who Fraser's got an eye on, that Dunstan Stars up at Ellerslie. Here is the win by High Quality. He's always been a horse with a heck of a lot of promise. Now just watch for Sylvester and Obrigado. Obrigado in the Breslin colours, Sylvester in the Sylvia Gay colours. They're just that little bit unlucky. He's got clear air and he's often gone. Sylvester's finding nicely. Obrigado's a little bit unlucky. So although High Quality wins, I think the performances of the 2nd and 3rd horses are on a par. High Quality has to carry the 2.5 teams claiming, so it's only going to get down to the 54.5. He carried 54.5 at his most recent start. So I think he's got challenges here, but he's got a bit of an ability. And here is Red Cloud. Now, he sat back last on this occasion, the gelding by postponed. He's got a big, long stride on him, this horse, and that should be suited right down to the ground here to Trentham Gardens. He'll handle the off-track conditions. He gets to the outside. See Jonathan there just getting a little bit tangled up with the whip, but he just lets him roll home. I think 2,500 metres is right up his alley. You see Shared Secrets towards the inside. You've also got High Quality back in the field there with the shadow roll. So this is a really good form race. And all this horse does is stay, and stays beautifully to the line. Big, long stride of him. I think you'll love Trentham. He's on top for me, Red Cloud. Over the 2 High Quality, Sylvester's in the mix. And Obrigado, again, was unlucky. Animator's an interesting runner. This horse is talented, but a little bit erratic. I mark them 4, 2, 1 and 3 in race number 3 on our afternoon.
Thanks, Bevan. The feature of one of the features on the card, I should say, comes next. It is the 2-year-old event, the Wakefield Challenge Stakes, the Anuka Smoker Wakefield Challenge Stakes. AOT Lad at 261, 12, 260 and 2s for Opie Boston as the favourite. Stephen, when has this move come? Has the AOT Lad been well supported the whole way, or is that just sort of this morning?
Plenty of market support as soon as betting commenced, Emily, which from memory was Wednesday afternoon around the 1 AOT Lad. Now holds that top line of betting with the scratching of a Appellant who came out yesterday afternoon, Friday afternoon, unfortunately with high high temperature around Appellant, so he'll keep for another day. But in this particular market, it's a strong lead around the 1 AOT Lad. Gee, they just keep producing the juveniles, don't they, Tiakau this time in, and they've got another smart one here by Zavabeels, tried up well on rain affected going, $2.60. You see it mirrors the totalizer there. Just with a tick under 4K in the pool, but in current final field markets holds 3 times more money than the second best back runner in Aretha, the other first starter. Cinzento and She's a Lady, now they have the race day form. They haven't been friendless, but they've held their own in terms of betting here, 550, 650 respectively. And then Killen, Miss Sweet Pea and Easy Rider cannot write a ticket for those 3 runners at this stage. But look, a little bit could play out here, but currently the best lead, and it's a clear lead, number 1, Aotea Lad, $2.60, best backed in the Group 2 feature.
Thanks, Stephen. Bevan, as we get to you, it's always hard to assess these 2-year-old races, isn't it? Obviously, there's not really a whole lot of exposed form, but what did you like from the trials? What were you thinking would perhaps be the one to back?
Well, I think there was clearly 2 very strong trials in this particular race. Aotea Lad, and further down the book at the filly by Charm Spirit, Aretha. Money talks though, Emily, especially from that stable, so clearly there's a fair bit of support for Aotea Lad. Let's have a look at its trial. This was at Mata on the 27th of November, sat back, came to the outside, put them away nicely under Opie. He's down to ride here this afternoon. It's a quality performance on off-track conditions, so that gives you a little bit of confidence. The money's on, so that only gives you further confidence. The draw, if it's going to get well back, it does have a big long straight to get into the race. The crossing will be interesting, so I'm interested to see exactly where Opie's going to posse this horse up, but it really did quicken nicely and got to the line very, very nicely. They paid $200,000 at the sales for it out of Corsage, who was the joint 2-year-old filly of 08-09 in the free handicap. Group 2 winner, placed in a Group 1, the Dam, so there's a lot of breeding there. Here's Easy Rider and Killen. Now, the Killen is described as the Schnitzel colt in this particular trial, and I'll take you back 2 trials. It was disappointing at Mata, just fair on the off-track conditions. This one, a good going, so maybe a concern on the track conditions, but the inside horse finds. Easy Rider to the centre of the track is actually quite good to the line, so you'd have to prefer Easy Rider a fraction. It has tried up okay on off-track conditions post this, but not sure either of those 2 are winning chances out of those 2 trials. And here is Aretha, the filly by Charm Spirit, for the Baker and Forsman team. Just sat right on speed on this occasion. Killen towards the inside, the Schnitzel colt is in this particular trial, and I thought, well, they were out to get it at about the 200 metre mark, but it found a really good kick under Matty and ran to the line nicely in 61.61 on off-track conditions, so it has to be a player. We're really going on trial form here. It's almost a $100,000 maiden race. I'm going to go with the 7 over the 1, but really you can back both horses and make a profit if that's the way you want to look at it. I thought race day form is always really important, so She's a Lady for Richard Jewell I put in the mix. And but they paid $340,000 for the colt by Schnitzel Killen. So they must have liked something, and one of the best judges in the land, Bruce Perry, purchased this horse for the Stephen Marsh barn. Jason Waddell in the saddle. The trial 2 ago was good enough. The most recent one on off-track conditions disappointing, but I'm just going to take the man that bought the horse as a very, very accurate judge and put that in for fourth. 7, 1, 5 and 2 in the first of our features, the Anuka Smoker Wakefield Challenge Stakes. Set to go, Emily, 2:30.